The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, this is the official Manny Pacquiao versus Yordenis Ugas post-fight review, and the result of the fight is a Yordenis Ugas boxeo cubano masterclass performance. You know, it's a beautiful display of boxing from Yordenis Ugas. We got Pops here. We just got done with the live, and if you weren't there, you really missed out because it was a great time. Join us on the next one next week for Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. But Pops, I'm gonna swing it over to you. What did you make of the performance tonight from both fighters?
I think it was great. It was a great fight, no matter how you want to look at it. We knew that Manny Pacquiao was coming to a fight with a tough opponent that people discredited and didn't think that he was able to do something with it. And he came out and did the best he could, but that Cuban style of boxing showed up tonight. And Ugas and his coach,
Ismail Salas,
took advantage of that, and they showed tonight.
Yeah, he did a great job tonight. Everything he did was damn near perfect, from the punch selection to just controlling the real estate of the ring. There were times in this fight where Manny Pacquiao would literally fire punches right through the guard of Ugas, and it still didn't matter. They were still falling short. And when you see those kind of things happen in the boxing ring, what that means, what that ultimately means is that you know where you're at in the ring. You're in command of the distance, and that's what Ugas was tonight. He was a ring general, commander of the distance, and you know, I'm just so happy for Ugas because you know, Ugas was a guy that, you know, he won a bronze medal in the Olympics. Highly touted Cuban amateur, had a lot of hopes coming into the pros. Started off his career 15-3, had 2 close split decision losses, and then the third loss was a unanimous decision loss to Amir Imam. And when he was 15-3, he was looked at to be a bust. A lot of people thought he would amount to really anything in his career. And just seeing the journey, how he's picked himself up and climbed the welterweight ranks, beating guys like Brian Perella and Jamal James and Ray Robinson and Figueroa, and then he had the fight with Sean Porter that people thought he won, but he didn't get the decision. To see him come from where he's came from to now beating a guy like Manny Pacquiao, you can say he was old, and a lot of people are gonna say and try to discredit the win and say Pacquiao was old and Spence would have did this and Crawford did that, but it doesn't matter because Spence and Crawford weren't in that ring, and the guy that was in the ring boxed a masterclass. I mean, he boxed one of the best fights you're gonna see all this year. And this is coming from somebody I'm a massive Manny Pacquiao fan. I picked Manny Pacquiao to win this fight. I wanted Manny Pacquiao to win this fight, but he didn't win this fight, and it was clear. It was clear as day. And if you don't think he was clear as day, then you might need these and his as well, because it was an easy fight to score.
You gotta give credit where credit was due, and the high guard that Ugas came in there caused a lot of problems for Manny Pacquiao. The reach caused a lot of problems.
The body punching. I mean, people will talk about all those things, but he put on a clinic in the body punching department. And look, when you look at his resume, the wins he's got, now Pacquiao looks really good. He got Pacquiao. He got Jamal James, who's top 10. He's the only guy to ever stop Ray Robinson. And Ray Robinson's been in there with good welterweights.
Wow.
You know, I mean, I thought I beat Porter. His resume is very, very good.
And now with this win?
It looks even better. So with that being said, you know, there's obviously a lot of options out there for Ugas. There's Jerron Ennis, there's Spence. We'll see what happens with him, but I'm gonna let him enjoy his night. As for Pacquiao, let's talk to him before we wrap up the video. Pacquiao, this loss, it's obviously not good for him to have another blemish on his career, but it does nothing to take away the legacy, the untouchable. And you know, I know I call myself the untouchable, but if we're talking about a legacy in boxing, Manny Pacquiao's legacy is damn near untouchable, his damn self, because the fights he's given people, the moments he's given people, the fighters he's beaten, the fighters he's been in the ring with, it's incomparable to see the things that he's done in boxing. And if that's his last fight, if that's our last image of Manny Pacquiao in a boxing ring, then all we can do is just give Manny Pacquiao a standing ovation, because he deserves the respect of every boxing fan. Whether you love him or hate him, he deserves your respect, because this isn't a guy that ducked fighters. Let me tell you the kind of fighter Manny Pacquiao was. In like 2008 or 9 or whatever it was, when Paul Williams was like the most ducked and avoided welterweight. Nobody wanted to fight him. Manny Pacquiao had a fight. Manny Pacquiao signed to fight Paul Williams.
Wow.
Only reason the fight didn't happen was because Paul Williams got his ass knocked out. But if Paul Williams would won his fight, Manny Pacquiao was gonna fight big ass. Paul Williams bigger than Ugas. Bigger than Ugas, and he punched harder than Ugas too.
Wow.
And Manny was gonna fight him.
Jeez.
That's the kind of man Manny Pacquiao was. Manny Pacquiao was the kind of guy to fight the who's who of the Mexican warriors, the featherweight, Barrera, Morales, Marquez. I mean, the list goes on and on. Manny Pacquiao fought Miguel Cotto in his prime. You know, Manny Pacquiao, just a fighter that, like, if we live 5 more lifetimes, we will never get another one of him. So I'm forever appreciative of him, because Manny Pacquiao, like, when I think about my earliest memories of boxing as a young kid, because, you know, I'll be honest with you, boxing wasn't my favorite sport when I was a kid. I like baseball was my sport when I was a kid, but I tuned into the occasional fights here and there when I was a kid. And my earliest memories of boxing involve Manny Pacquiao. You know, I come from a Puerto Rican family, so when I was living around my Puerto Rican family, we tended to watch Miguel Cotto, and I'll never forget when Pacquiao beat the living breaks out Miguel Cotto. That was a special moment, and he was and he showed himself time and time again to be, in a sport full of special fighters, he may have been the most special one of them all, right there alongside with Floyd Mayweather. And I'll say this: I'm a fan of both of them. I've grown an appreciation for Floyd, and I've always had an appreciation for Manny. And I'm a fan of both of them, and I don't argue about who's greater or anything, because I feel like it's a waste of time. They're both great in their own way. They both have had remarkable contributions to the sport, and I learned something about not just boxing but life from both of those men.
Right.
So you know, like I said, if it's the last time we see Manny Pacquiao in the ring, then from my bottom of my heart, I say, Manny Pacquiao, thank you for helping make boxing what it is today. Thank you for getting people like me excited for the sport. Thank you for carrying boxing on your shoulder for such a long time. Thank you for showing the young fighters on how to conduct yourself as a true champion of the sport. Because when we talk about icons, this man was an icon plus and then some.
Not what he just did inside the ring, what he's done outside the ring also.
Yeah.
And he took it very humbly tonight, his defeat. And sometimes the torch is gonna move on. He will always be a legend. He will always be one that we can always compare. The record he got, a lot of things will never be broken. The 8th division, that'll never happen. I don't think that'll happen again. But as far as he is, he will always be a legend. And you know, thank you, Manny. Wish you the best, whatever you decide to do. And we know with God's spirit and will, you're gonna decide what's best for you and for everybody.
Absolutely not. On that note, we want to say we want to congratulate Yordenis Ugas for also showing people a great exhibition of the sweet science of boxing. And you know, like I was saying on the live, you know, sometimes they say, like, you know, when one legend ends, another one begins, and who knows? Maybe Yordenis Ugas. I know he's 36. He's not exactly a spring chicken. He's not young, but there's still some time for him to leave his mark, even more so in boxing. And I'm looking forward to seeing that, because now, as far as I'm concerned, we had the Crawfords, we had the Spencers, and these are the guys that have been shoved down our throats as the best in the division, but now they got to come see this guy. And I'm going to demand for it.
And the thing, too, in this country, I've been preaching this the whole time, is about opportunity and taking advantage of your opportunities, and Ugas did that tonight.
He did it tonight. So on that note, we're going to wrap it up, but you guys let us know what you thought about the fight. How did you think? What do you think of Ugas' performance, Pacquiao's performance? Do you think Pacquiao will retire? Who do you want to see Ugas fight next? Drop all that down below in the comments. Take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dang. So until next time, take care, guys.